Hey everyone, this is Aalto and welcome to my first Wuthering Waves character tier list. In this video I'll be ranking each character based on their strength, versatility and potential, including the two new upcoming characters. So let's dive in and see where each character lands on the list. Starting off with the D tier we have Yangyang. So Yangyang is pretty bad. She's a sub DPS slash support which should buff the energy recharge, and she has many problems unfortunately. The first one is that it takes a lot to charge up her forte, and it's not even a good one. It takes a lot of time to even do the animation, where she jumps in the air, does the cool sword animation, and the buff she gives isn't even good. She's mediocre at best and will be overshadowed pretty soon. Still, she's better than other characters like Yuanwu. Yuanwu is also a very bad character, because he's supposed to be a sub DPS and does his job also very poorly. He is also supposed to buff the main character's defense, but only when he has the Whip Band 6, which is very expensive and definitely not worth it. But by far, the worst character in the game for now is Taoqi. Taoqi is just terrible. She has little to no application to anything. She's very weak under any circumstances. Something that must be noticed is that her basic attack scales off attack, while the anything else of her kit scales off defense. So she's just worthless. Very bad damage and a mediocre support. So just avoid her, don't play her. Next up we have the C tier, and immediately I'm going to put our boy Lingyang. So Lingyang, yes, he is a bad character, but please don't make him that dirty. I think he's very fun to play, he's very dynamic, he's very just... it's amazing to play him. And while his damage may be lackluster, we still may not know if in the future he can find some supports. Hopefully he will, but still that doesn't mean that he's not weak. He is pretty bad, he needs to be way stronger, but it's fine, we still love him. After that we have Chixia. So Chixia is pretty bad. She has to stay on the field a lot of time. She has a skill that takes time, where she does the slide and shoots. She has to run around just to fire off the projectiles, and it just takes a lot of time and effort just to do some pretty basic damage. So, not a strong character, definitely needs to be better. And lastly we have the Rover, so the Spectro version of course. So the Spectro Rover is also pretty bad, because the outro skill is a little fun but pretty useless. It freezes time for 3 seconds. And the skill is also pretty bad. Just a spinning blade and a follow-up attack that doesn't do much, and is good for starting off in the game, but nothing fancy. And that's it for the C tier. Now we are at the B tier and things are starting to get way better. And I'll start with my first 5-star, Jianxin. So, the Jianxin is pretty average. Like, she can be a good healer and a good shielder, but it really depends on how much she can stay still on the field. Many bosses tend to just break the shield the moment she's making it, or just hit her while she's making it, and this fucks up the entire strategy. And the parry isn't even that strong. The difference in damage is not that much, so you don't even get a strong reward from parrying, and overall she's pretty overshadowed by many characters. Still, it's a good support, and if you have pull for her, you can use her. She's very strong, she's both a shielder and a healer, and until she gets replaced by something way better, you can play her. And now it's time for Aalto. So Aalto is another B tier for sure, because he can do his work pretty well. He's a good sub DPS, he can buff aero damage very good. He's very useful for Jiyan, but apart from that he's pretty useless. I mean, that's also because there are not many aero characters yet, so that's a big no-no for him. But in the future I bet he will be even stronger, the more they release good aero characters. Still pretty solid, could have been much better, but could have been much worse. But now things are starting to finally get good, because in the A tier each one of these characters are very good, and incredibly viable. So, the first one is by far Sanhua, which is a amazing sub DPS, has some interesting gimmick with the ice spikes, and the only problem is that she takes a while to do the charge attack, I mean the heavy attack, but still she does a very good amount of damage. Her outro skill can be very good with some characters like Encore, and yeah, she's a very good character that will be even stronger in the future. Next up is Baizhi. So Baizhi is a bit interesting because she's a good healer, don't get me wrong, her skill is very good, her ultimate is also very strong, but the only problem is that she will soon be overshadowed by many healers. It's like Barbara in Genshin. Because there weren't many healers back then, she was strong, but with time she will be very overshadowed. Still, at least for now, she's pretty strong, her skill is very good. The Resonance Liberation is also pretty strong, but apart from that, her kit is pretty basic. Her heavy attack should not even be used, because you need to save the stacks for the skill. And yeah, she's pretty basic, so there isn't much to say. Next up is Mortefi. I personally don't like Mortefi, because he's very strong, but he's also going to be very overshadowed. Like, he was the best sub DPS because of the damage off field he could make with his Resonance Liberation, but the thing is that he will also be very overshadowed. Like, they just released the Yinlin, which is broken, but we will get to her later, and just he will fall off very soon, like, I'm sure of that. But still, for now, he is very strong, still the second best damage off field dealer, and the skill is pretty cool, the fact that he has basically 2 of them, and yeah, at least for now he keeps being a top tier. Now we have the Havoc Rover. The Havoc Rover is, first of all, she's free, I mean they are free. You can get them the moment you finish the story, so each one of you can access to them very easily. And she's also very simple to play, just build up the Forte until you unleash the new form. And her kit is very simple, so it's very easy to play her, plus the echo bonus you get when you use the Dreamless, which is very strong. And this is the only reason why I put her over Danjin, because she's also incredibly strong, but she's also very gimmicky to play. The Rover can dish out a lot of damage while being very easy and safe to play, while Danjin always has to rely on the HP, and that can be pretty tricky. Like, you always have to not get damaged a lot, because she already damages herself so much. But still, if it was not for that, I'd put Danjin over the Rover, because of her outro skill, which is very strong, especially for future characters. Like, a Havoc damage bonus will be very good and will make her a very powerful sub DPS. But for now, I'd put the Rover before her, simply because of how easy she's to play compared to Danjin. And now we have finally reached the S tier. And in the S tier, the first one I want to talk about is Encore. Encore is a low S tier, it's like the lowest S tier, but she keeps being incredibly strong. Like, each one of these characters are busted, are amazing, and you can already see that. Encore is very easy to play, she just has to press the skill, and the fact that you can just switch while she's doing the skill is very fun and also very useful. And her Resonance Liberation is very easy to play, just spam the skill and then use a charge attack that will deal so much damage off field. So she's very simple, she's very strong to play and easy too. Encore keeps being a spot in my heart, because I chose her as my 5-star and I don't regret that one bit. The second S tier I want to put in is Yinlin. So Yinlin is by far the strongest sub DPS in the whole game. She just came out and is completely busted. She has everything you need to have. The amount of damage off field she can deal is simply amazing. She's overall very simple, like there isn't much to say about her. She's just very easy to play. Just do the heavy attack while you have the energy, and she will start dealing amazing off-field damage. And you can pair her with so many electro teams, like with Calcharo, and especially she will get even stronger in the future when they will release more electro characters. But she's also very strong even without necessarily electro, because she can just, you know, buff the resonance liberation damage, and that on itself is also so fucking strong. So a very strong S tier, and the only reason I'm putting her low on the S tier is because any other character is even stronger than her, such as Jiyan. Jiyan has always been one of the strongest DPS in the whole game, and he will keep being one of them for sure. He's pretty easy, like just go into the resonance liberation mode and start dealing a huge amount of damage, and his kit is overall pretty simple, and he can get buffed by so many things. Like there is Aalto, you can also get some buff from like Sanhua, from I guess Yinlin, if I think it's considered resonance liberation damage. And yeah, he keeps being a very powerful DPS, and I think he will be a very powerful option even in the future. So the thing with these S tier characters is that they are so simple yet strong, like you don't have much to say about them, but still he's very viable, he will keep being viable. And yeah, and now it's the moment of truth. Which is the strongest character in the game? I'm sorry for Calcharo, but he's number 2. So Calcharo is just broken, he's incredibly strong, his damage is just... it's scary how strong he can be. And the only thing that limits him is that his combos are pretty easy to do. So he's a combo character, so sometimes it may be a bit overwhelming to do it while fighting a boss, but he still keeps being the strongest DPS ever, and he will keep being one of them, especially now that Yinlin has been released, and even in the future if they will ever release some more supports that can buff him even further. But of course the best spot goes to Verina. Verina, hey, go there. Okay. Verina is the strongest character in the whole game, and I'm not surprised. She simply has everything the game can offer for a support. Her healing is busted, she can deal coordinated attacks when you use the resonance liberation, and she can just do like Bailu and protect a party member from dying, though it has a 10 minutes cooldown, but who cares? Like, she can just protect you from fatal damage, which is busted. And lastly, even her outro skill is very good, considering it gives you a 15% damage deepen. So she can just buff you, she can deal off-field damage, and she can protect you from just dying. Plus the fact that she's a broken healer, she literally has everything. And yeah, Verina is by far the strongest character in the game, though Calcharo keeps being a strong one too. It's just that Verina is broken compared to him. And now we have the last two ones. While we can just speculate what they can do, I'm already telling you they will be just absolutely broken. So I'd like to put Changli first, because she's just so good to see. Like, if you have not seen the leaks, please go see them, because she's so fun to play. She's broken by far, like you can see by her damage that she's absolutely busted. She's pretty simple to play, and she's so dynamic. Like, you can just see her flying around, just hitting so much stuff, turning into like a phoenix for half a second, and just, yeah, she's amazing. I will pull for her day one. Save your gems, because she will be amazing. She's a must pull, very fun to play, very dynamic, very easy also, and yeah, she's amazing. About Jianxin, I think she's also just absolutely broken. She goes into the incarnation mode after a while, and she used to deal like 2 million damage, so they nerfed her and she will keep being busted. But yeah, she will also be absolutely top tier. Maybe Verina is a bit more powerful, but I'm not entirely sure. I think she will keep being in the top 3 for sure. And that's it. So this concludes the tier list. Some rapid changes I would make is by like putting the Havoc Rover and Danjin over Mortefi and Baizhi, and the Spectro Rover over Chixia, because she has a bit more potential than her. And that's pretty much about it. If you liked the video, remember to smash the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!